draft games. We're not 100% sure which one yet. I'm going to talk to the admins about that tomorrow and then get it posted up, and we'll have a post on Reddit as per usual once we've figured that all out and the time that we're going to be starting in. So, quick rundown of the teams then. For alternate, for Ellen Lord on Twisted Fate, Fish on Ash, Lycades on Janna, Jin on Maokai, and where was the last one? Cliff on Wukong. And for game, we have Glucosa on Sona, Froggy on Rammus, Shimmy on this is awesome, Froggy and Shimmy on Shyvana, Grurum on Kassadin, and Entzwerg.
Oh yeah,
awesome name, Entenzwerg, which is like duck something. I don't know. Whatever.
And of course the bans, in case you missed them, just if you just tuned in, it is going to be for alternate. They banned out Leigh, Morgana and Karthus, and game banned out Anivia, Orianna and Ahri. So Joe, what do you reckon? Who are we going with on this one? I think Game have got some pretty good picks, but alternate, clearly the favourites coming into this one. So I am going to guess and put a lot on the line, bearing in mind Jin's using they're using Jin as the jungler, a 1400 rated player, compared to, well, there's some 2400 rated players on the opposition side. So it's going to be a tough fight for them, but I'm thinking alternate might take it.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see, really the difference between these players and how much that rating makes of a difference when it comes to a competitive game like this. Looks like we're not going to have too much going on at the start. Don't forget, it is best of one, this game, so you make a mistake and it can pretty much cost you your position, and especially since it's the first play day, everyone wants to get off to that good start. It looks like Maokai is going to be starting race, already got a couple of his saplings in there. Whilst Rammus will be starting off on the Wolves. The AD carry, no real surprise from alternate. They're waiting around this bottom side and will be hanging out to take the golems as they start, as the CV goes down. And are we going to see a bit of an invade here? Very possibly. In fact, they are going to come in. Glucosa very, very wary of that, but he's got the ward down in that tri-bush right from the start. We've seen a Twisted Fate pull on the golems as well, so Ash not going to be taking any damage and will take out these golems here very, very quickly to give him that nice little start with the XP and gold.
Indeed, so going about their way as they return to lane. Like you say, I mean, they could so easily have messed up Maokai there. And you do see it. Some of the very top teams do this. They'll come in and they'll just harass it because they realise that if you're Maokai, you generally do start on those raids, and all you've got to do is just walk in, pull the saplings, and walk out and be gone. And you've just messed up that jungler so much, so heavy. Looking down towards the bottom, you can see, oh, Fish has already got caught out with that boomerang blade. Also, obviously landed the critical shot on towards Soraka as well. Let's have a look towards the mid. This is where the harass is really going to come out. You can see Grullum just getting caught with that stun card. But until he gets those wild cards built up, that's where he's going to really be aiming at building up. I can't expect him looking towards the top as well. You can see Cliff being harassed out of the lane by Shyvana early, and he's going to have a few problems. He's going to have to fight on that turret for the first few levels, and just until Shyvana can sort of be handled through the damage and healing that he's going to be able to develop. Looking towards Fish, he just lays down a quick spam across. I say a spam, it is the, I get the word right, man. It is volley, isn't it? That's the one. That's the one I'm after. But, Maokai's going for a walk in the middle and towards the mid. Want to harass on towards Grullum, maybe try and make him use up that flash early on. Will get stunned out. Maokai goes in, dashes. Maokai's tanking the turret. Not the greatest idea, and he's going to have to back away, which means Grullum will walk away from that one without burning any flashes at all. Back down the bottom, Howling Gale whips across, misses though. Guess Boomerang Blade will maybe go out at the moment. He's just going to back away from that one, and a crit shot going to the back of Glucosa. And at the top again, Cliffy's being harassed, Joe. This is kind of what we expected from the early lanes, though.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much going to plan there. I mean, that whole gank in middle was made pretty obvious by the fact that he switched to that yellow card, and Kassadin's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Meanwhile, down at the bottom, we are going to see a push coming out from Entenzwerg, but I'm not sure that he's got the damage that he really needs to keep that up. And we'll see him. Obviously, with having Sona as your support, you've got that constant heal coming in, something which Fish is going to have to rely on his health pots for a little bit more. I'm going to take a quick peek up towards top because Cliff constantly being harassed by Shimmy and Shyvana playing this one. Both junglers have gone back in the meantime, by the way. And Watch Rama's picked up the regrowth pendant. Same for Maokai, but he's also got in there the fairy charm for that little bit of mana as well.
Yeah, and of course, because of that gank attempt, he's fell a little bit behind in the jungle. Just seeing Vroggy coming down. Is Roggy going to go looking for kills? He might go up towards the top, you know, because Shimmy's been harassing very well. All it needs is a quick taunt, and it could well be a simple death. A ward just being taken out there down the bottom lane. Here we go. Roggy now in that bush. Has got double buff up there. Cliffy has just pushed a wave, so he might follow it up. Will he hear the spinning up? I'm not too sure. Instead, oh, he goes in towards the minions, and he's just following Cliffy very nicely. Will he manage to land the taunt? Will it be enough? I think Cliffy should get away from this one. Will it be first blood? He's been ignited. Now, meanwhile, Jin's going in. I think that's a bad move. He needs to back away from them, and he hasn't got enough to take those two out. Not on his own. And that will be a successful first blood there. So Vroggy pulling it out, really, when it counted. It was Shyvana, of course, on Shimmy that managed to pick up that first blood. So that is ideal for the top lane. He's just going to go back and spend that gold. Now up to 1,200 gold. So it's going to be items ahead. And down the bottom, they were also harassing as well. You can see Fish has been pushed back. Lycides also took a bit of damage. And they are just having to sit back because it looks like Glucose has took over that bush, Joe.
Fish, it looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with his last hits here. I've seen him miss quite a few now. There was one just previous to that one that he got.
Mid lane.
Actually, it's pretty balanced. Anyway, Lord is gonna. I thought he was gonna face check straight into Vroggy there. He's spinning himself up. We do have. Yeah, the blue card is going to be picked out there. And actually, he flashes over the top, Vroggy, and he's going to get the taunt off there. Heal did come out from Lord, but surely going to go down. Ignite will finish it off, and it is going to be Gruulem who takes that one down. Did have his, it was level 6 up there as well, so we'll be able to stay very, very safe on that one. That is second kill coming out for game, the third place team on paper from last year. However, it is of course a different lineup. Up at top, I can see the constant harassing once again. Cliffy being taken down, and that's the thing with Shyvana. She's such a bully in this top lane. Cliffy's going to have a real problem until he gets that little bit more tanky of dealing with her, especially when she's got that kill as well with first blood.
Yeah, Cliffy obviously had first choice, and he was countered by Shyvana, so kind of I'd expect Shyvana to certainly win out this lane. I guess some of the top players would disagree. They've obviously got feelings which the hero they think is better, but at the moment it's all about Vroggy. Vroggy has been doing some great ganks from mid, and really for Lord, he was doomed the moment he pulled that mana card. He pulled the mana card out, and it was just like, well, now you've got nothing at all that can stop him. Yeah, and the flash obviously was used to get that gank, but when it works, when you get the gank, it is perfectly worth it. And Vroggy has been doing a great job. In the meantime, you can see he's got that Philosopher's Stone already. Got them boots with the Ruby charm on. The Ruby Crystal, sorry. So he's got the health as well to go with it. So he's obviously getting the double assist that he's had. And he's given his two AP and AD carries the gold that they much needed. So at the moment he's going so very well, which is obviously why there's 1k gold difference. Lane wise, you looked between the two, you can see 42 to 54 down the bottom. So actually Siva's winning out that lane by 10 CS, which is this time is quite a big deal at only 7.5 minutes. We do have Rammus again spinning up. Looks like he's going to go towards Wraiths, but they're not there, so he's not going to be able to steal those away. Instead, he's going to ward it up and just stroll past and say, hi, I'm here, just to give Lord something to think about. Blue buff now is being picked up by Gin. That's going to be Lord going across to pick that one up. Meanwhile, down the bottom, they continue to just poke back and forward, Joe, but it's fell into a little bit of a dead zone while we wait for them to pick up their buffs. I'm just going to keep my eye on Vroggy, really. He's the man to watch so far.
Yeah, he's been doing a fantastic job, and you know, Maokai, aside from that first little push in, which was not the greatest gank you'll ever see in your life, he's not been all that active actually. And then we are going to see Kassadin coming back. Actually, Ash just using the hawk shot there will spot Gruulem's position, and that means that they'll stay safe on this turret. Gruulem coming in from the side. Vroggy's just to the top side there by the river, but I'm not sure that he's going to be able to do so much. Half of HP taken away there from Lord. Will counter it with the wild cards, plus that stun just before it as well. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, we are going to see a Twist of Fate ulti coming in. They're going to dive straight down here. Glucose is surely the target. They've actually picked their targets really disgustingly bad at this stage as well. However, there is the Ash Arrow, and surely this is going to be a dead zona. There is the heal, though, and that's something that's going to throw this little push off completely. Vroggy is there as well. Stun goes out onto Kassadin. Fish is surely going to go down as the Riftwalk comes in. There he is finished off. Lord could very quickly follow as well. They switch their attention over to Lycides, who needs just one more hit. He comes from the ulti of Vroggy, and Jin needs to be careful, but I think they've got the damage output. They will take down Vroggy, and that will be a 2-for-1 exchange down the bottom. Very, very big team fight.
Top lane as well. Yeah, in the top lane you can see that Shyvana's now actually just come up and completely frozen the lane, gone towards it and just saying, yeah, I'm going to steal all your lane, all your jungle. Will he go down towards the jungle? There's no reason why not, because frankly he's just wiped it out. He knows that they're all down the bottom there, so pretty even exchange down the bottom there, though. I mean, I wasn't sure for a moment, and then obviously the taunt came in, but there was a good stun from Maokai. Managed to just about catch him before Rammus got away from that tower, which meant obviously the tower was doing all the damage, and then Freljord timed it very well with that stun card. Meanwhile, back at the top, you can see Cliffy is having problems. Let's have a look at the CS between these two. 62 to 73. So again, he's 10 behind. He's 1 death behind. So it is starting to become an issue. Where is Gruulum going now? He's just going to ward it up, so that's not too bad. It is getting 10 minutes time, so we're going to look towards where the Shyvana's going to move. He's porting back right now, so I'm suspecting they're going to start making their move for Dragon in a minute, Joe. They're just adjusting themselves. Let's see what they've bought, actually, because a few of them did die. A few of them went back. We've got a Sheen on Twisted Fate. So he's going to start doing a bit more spiking damage as soon as he gets that underway. It's whether he can get the time to really ulti around the map. That's what triggered everything down the bottom there. He does have it available again, so we're going to keep to see whether any roaming ganks go. Again, down that bottom it is a heavily pushed lane, and Maokai is certainly within distance to go down that bottom, so it's not beyond the realms of possibility that he could just pop that ulti and go straight down the bottom again and catch them out. Oh, just looking towards the top. Cliffy has just been caught out by Vroggy, but he's going to be able to back away from that one. Vroggy, interestingly enough, has bought that Oracles early on, popped his ulti there on Cliffy. Not too sure about that one. Did wipe out a wave of minions though, so he'll be happy with that one. And going about his business, Joe.
Yeah, going about his business. I think he realised that he would have to wait a little bit too long there for Shyvana to come in, but it looks like they're actually going to go and try and take the first turret of the game. Cliffy going to have a few problems here, but we are getting the Twisted Fate ulti coming out there. The ulti was used from Cliffy to knock them up. They're going to focus in onto Shimmy. Again, their targeting is not the best here. I have to say, Cliff getting a little bit dangerously low. Froggy will be victim of the wild cards, but here comes the dragon in onto Cliff.
River as well.
Where is Froggy? Not quite there. We are seeing
River
come up. Ulti is, Ignite is on Cliffy. Is he going to survive? Not quite. Gruulum did come up, but just a little bit too late, and that will bring us back to 5-3. Still in favour, though, of Gamed.
And Ash also went down the bottom as well during that exchange. Yeah, it was one of those times where it's fighting across the map. I could see them pushing forward as they were doing it. And again, Maokai also having to face check straight towards Gruulum there. Not pleasant when he's a jungler versus a fed AP carry in the mid. Luckily, he hasn't got too many items yet, and he's just getting towards that stage where he can really do some damage. And like it is, it's just having to fend off this bottom turret. So, Ensweg, I'm gonna get this. Entensweg. You can do the pronunciation. I can't. I'm rubbish with German. No shock there. My native English tongue. And wow, we're just seeing him riff walking away from that. I'm not too sure if he needed to riff walk away there. It was only going to be a single sapling to the face. But at the moment, well, 5-3 advantage, and it's definitely showing across the map. Alternate have just picked up a couple of kills, though, but they are in danger of slipping away from this one. Because just look at Shimmy at the top there. He's happily freezing the lane up there. Oh, where is Wukong going? Nowhere. He's going back up. I wasn't sure whether we were going to see a dragon potential start here, because Rammus is... No, he's only going to be given the blue, so again, nothing coming from this one, Joe.
Yeah, and it's dangerous to let that Shyvana continue to farm up in this top lane. Meanwhile, we have seen Janna gone back, so Fish going to be all alone here down at the bottom, as we will see that boomerang go off second part of it. The return actually did connect there, but nicely dodged to get out of place. Actually in the middle there, Shimmy just going to get stunned up, but they're starting to move down here, game. They want to have themselves a go at Dragon. Vroggy does have the actually that ward just timed out, I think, just as he did the damage to it. He does have that Oracle still on, which is the point I was trying to make. And they are going to start this Dragon. Lycades will drop a ward in towards the back. Sona is going to take that ward down. And I don't think there's anything that they can do whatsoever with this Dragon. No, it's going to go over to Games, and you don't see many Dragons coming in as easily as that.
No, and they didn't really catch on in time. As soon as Shyvana was down there, Cliffy was like, right, fine, I'm going to have to push the lane, try and do the trade-off. But I'm just not sure if he's got enough to get the trade-off before Shyvana gets up. But he may take it down. He's just on another wave. coming in. Meanwhile, down the bottom, there's a fight going on. You can see Glucose has just been caught out. The Ashar are hitting. He has managed to get away, and Lycan is actually blowing him away the opposite direction. Meanwhile, Vroggy, where you can see Entwers is just about to catch down Fish. He might get a double kill here as well. Has been stunned up, though. Manages to back away from this one. Sona's there, but here comes Grulum. Grulum's going to pick himself up a double kill if they allow him to. Ferelnlord surely will get caught down. Lycan is next. He's just been knocked away. Jin managed to just about get in, but that boomerang followed him along, and that will be Lycan. He's going down as well. Wukong has come back down here, teleporting in. Will he manage to pick anything up from it? I don't think so. He's used that ulti, but he did not have the mana. He was trying his best to push on that top lane, and unfortunately for him, he's come down too late, and now Shimmy's going to take that top turret. It is definitely going Game's way here.
Yeah, really, really strong stuff again from Game, and they just couldn't quite get enough in there. And, the ulti from Janna, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, it did its job in the terms of getting the opponents a little bit further away. But just that too strong. And if we look down the actual scores now, that AD carry down the bottom, Sivir 402, 112 compared to 82 CS. That's a big amount. Got Berserker's Greaves, BF Sword, Pickaxe, Vamp Scepter, and a couple of Doran's Blade compared to Asher's Pickaxe, and triple Doran's Blade and the Berserker Greaves. So you can see just how far ahead with that Ashe on 0-3-1. The jungle as well, we picked up on this before. I noticed in the Twitch TV chat a few people saying, what's with Maokai? Why is he not ganking all the time? Well, unfortunately for Alternate, their normal jungler Unso is unable to play tonight, and that is Jin, their manager, who we had a quick peek earlier on, and he's actually a 1400 rated player, which at this level is going to make a difference no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, and a 1400 rated player is not that bad, but when you're up against people that are 2400 rated, it suddenly shows. And I've seen in my comments as well on a few things on YouTube saying, oh my god, I get so much better CS than these guys that rated, I don't know, 900 ELO or whatever it was. And it's just like, well, yes, but you're against the 900 rated ELO player. These guys are 2400. They are the top of the game. They are the creme de la creme. At the moment, Ferelnlord is now having to back away. He realises he can't take on these two because you could just get easily Shyvana, ulti, and Grulum would stack up on top, and he's just going to have to give up on that mid turret, and the bottom turret also is being given up on. So suddenly that is the 3 outer turrets already for Game, just all dropping in a matter of seconds between the lanes, and suddenly a big advantage stretches out here. You can see 6k gold now is the advantage. That is enormous as they start to just pull away all the resources from the enemy. And Game really are in a very strong position. I thought they had pretty good picks, but I wasn't expecting it to snowball quite this much. Jin, you need to be so careful there. He's going in with an Oracle. That would be well worth the dive there from Kassadin. And you know what? I was quite surprised that Kassadin actually didn't go for a bit more damage there. Obviously just simply lacking the vision. And Sona down the bottom already got that Infinity Edge now coming back to lane. That is scary.
And they're letting Shyvana constantly push the farm on this top lane. He's actually going to head off in towards the jungle, so this middle guy needs to be careful. Cliff has just come across to cover that one. Shimmy's going to say thank you very much for your wolves, but Cliff is coming in behind. In fact, the whole team are coming in around towards Shimmy, and that could cause them a few problems. Stun cards is going to go out as well as the wild cards. Flash used here by Shimmy to get away. Will use the dragon. Ash arrow will land, but is he too far away? In came Grulum there. This is a lost cause, to be honest. We will see Shyvana go down. Grulum's now going to have to work his way out of there. The rest of Game trying to move his way as well, and Twisted Fate is going to ulti his way over. Nice move from Grulum, actually. His decision there on his positioning was perfect after he saw that ulti was coming in, but we may just see this middle turret go down now for Ellenlord, pushing his position fairly aggressive, but Alternate interested in just one thing, and that's going to be this middle turret.
Well, while it's all happening, look down the bottom. There is Sivir taking down the inner turret, so they're happily to give up one outer turret for an inner one. And that is, well, I'd say a pretty good exchange, just giving up the singular middle inner turret, outer turret, sorry, and of course they did lose a kill, but that was simply a case of Shyvana getting caught out. There was nothing to do with the trade in there. And like you say, Grulum, very wise there to just get out of the way. He just waited his moment to rift walk for the when Twisted Fate was going to port in. If he'd have rift walked back to his turret, he probably would have got caught and maybe taken down there. But just see how much they had to pile on to Shyvana there. They had to throw 2-3 ultis at him just to get that one singular kill. And that's how far they fell behind already. But that kill would have helped. You can see Lichbane now on Twisted Fate. I think he had it at the start just before that fight. Has just pulled away blue for himself. So he's going to go back and bite. We've got 1,700 gold on Wukong at the moment, so he desperately needs to buy. Actually, looking at his items, he has fell behind. You look at him compared to Shivani, you can see he's fell quite a way behind. And did I just miss Dragon getting picked up down the bottom there? No, I don't think so. I think it's not come up yet. It was... No, I was just thinking what time it was. It was quite a late Dragon. Actually, completely missed the time, and nobody's been kind enough to type it in chat, which is something that a lot of teams do these days, which has just made me lazy in my commentating because I've not been timing these things. But maybe someday Riot will put a little time in for us.
Hint, hint, if you're watching.
Yeah.
We would really love that. That would be awesome. But right now we are seeing both teams stacking up for this Dragon. But look at this, Wukong up at the top all alone. It's not going to make it easy whatsoever to defend this Dragon. Actually, they may just go in for the fight. We will see Pharrell and Lord is the focus. Ulti pop there with Boggy, and actually he's ultied over the top. Sorry, flashed over the top as well with that
Wukong
ulti.
teleport.
Wukong is going to teleport in there. Jin's saved by that ulti. The ulti came out from Sona as well, and actually it's not that bad for Ultimate. They've done a fair amount of damage here. Raikkonen, though, is going to be coming under fire from Shimmy, who does have that ulti up. Dragon is there. There's the killing spree popping up as Twisted Fate goes down. And, well, it's just snowballing in the favour of game once again. Fish is now the next dead man. That goes to Grurum as well, who gets himself he's on the rampage. And the double kill was from Entensberg, which, of course, is the AD carry, the Sivir. And that says, okay, Baron time, 11-4. And, a good 8k gold difference as well after 20 minutes.
Yeah, and an easy Baron as well. They've completely won out that one. I wasn't sure for a moment because Wukong teleported down, but unfortunately for Elnor had already been taken out so early on that he could just do no damage to the fight. And now with him gone, he's going to spawn up in a second. Whether he's going to be able to get up here and do anything about this Baron, I don't think so. And it is going to go the way of game. So 11-4, there you go. Twisted Fate ulti, sorry, already taken it. And the vision comes out there, so he's just going to port to mid and try and pick up as much gold farming as he can, and they desperately need to farm there. They fell so far behind. Like you say, Ash, 1-4-1, still not completed that Infinity Edge. Meanwhile, Sivir, 4-0-5, is now on his way to doing the Phantom Dancer, so it is massively ahead. And, well, they're going to pick up the Dragon, which is desperate gold, really, and they have to pick it up very quickly because you can see immediately they're piling straight down here, Alternate, but they are going to be too late, so it is going to be a much deserved or a much fought after Dragon. And thankfully it may drag the game on that a little bit longer because there's nothing worse than a very one-sided game, but Alternate are going to really have to tank it up here. They're going to have to just sit back, relax, not get carried away. They've still got 2 inner turrets. They've not got into the base. They've not lost any inhibitors, but it is definitely going the way of game. Oh, they've just caught out Lycanese. That is horrible. They've sat on a ward, teleporting away. Will get away with it, though, just about. Only just, mind you. But that was a simple case of teleporting on really a spot. Meanwhile, it's going to be... Jin's going to get caught out. Had to use his stun. Can he get a wildcard stun on Grullum as well? I'm not too sure. He will back away from that one. And wow, he's just bursting them both down. That is going to cost them the inner turret as well. And this is just... these things, I mean, he was teleporting in a simple spot in the bush, which is so... It's just always warded. At this stage of the game, you just got to expect a ward there. Oh, and that's going to be Wukong just about getting away, and that will give them a third inner turret.
Yeah, not good. Looking good whatsoever for Alternate in this first game. Looking for them, it's not a single elimination bracket or something like that. It's a full season where each team will play each other twice over the course of the coming months. So, for the current champions of the ESL Pro Series in Germany, it's not over by any means, but still, you want to win this first game. This is an important one for you. Like any sport, like any other tournament as well that plays in a league format, getting off to a good start is really crucial in wanting to win this one. We've seen them switching between this top and the middle lane as well, and I guess they're just going to go back there in a second and try and force that issue as well. As you mentioned, in terms of the bottom lane, that just went horribly wrong. It's now back to 40 CS, but I think it was like 40 CS about 10 minutes ago as well, which was the real pain for Ash, plus the fact that he's actually 1-4-1 compared to 4-0-5. Also, that Kassadin we talked about in the pre-game as well, compared to Twisted Fate, always going to be a strong lane for games. That one is 4-0-2 compared to the 3-3-1 of Twisted Fate. And there goes the red buff as well onto Entensberg, just to make him even more strong.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if, even if Unso was here, whether it would have been any different. I think it was more down to the picks than the actual play itself. I mean, Maokai's not doing that bad a job. He's 0-0-1, so he hasn't died, hasn't given up that Oracle that he got fairly early on. But he's just obviously didn't get the ganks, really. But the ganks were not really there to have. I mean, Shyvana at the top was pretty much always full hit points, always had a wave, always had it covered, and I would generally always had Rammus to support him. And in the middle, it's a Kassadin is a very, very hard thing to pin down. Didn't manage to force the flash early on, but then when she hits 6, it doesn't matter, because generally they're going to get out of it. Unless you manage to get a double stun perfectly timed with Twisted Fate and Maokai, you were not going to catch them. So the bottom lane was always pushed. Maokai didn't go down there, granted, but Rammus never went down the bottom either. That was a simple case of an AD and support winning the lane against each other, and that's all it has been so far. So it's a case of they pretty much won all 3 lanes, and that is the effect that they have. Once you win all those 3 lanes, it is so very, very hard to come back from. And unfortunately, they've been caught out a few too many times as well. So it's it's kind of all snowballing, which is exactly how it goes. The question is whether Grulum is going to zip in here, because what alternate need right now? They need them to make a mistake, and the mistake at the moment, I think, would be diving the turret. I'm not sure if they're quite strong enough to dive on the turret against them. Level-wise, they are actually not that far ahead. There is quite a few level 15s in there, but Alternate are not completely out of it yet, but they do need Game to make a mistake.
Yeah, they most definitely need them to make a mistake. And actually, I just noticed that Unso is in the chat on Twitch TV. So, Unso, can you tell us why you're not playing? If you can, that would be a cool thing for the viewers to know here, I guess. He just said he's back, so I guess he was somewhere doing something, which is part of the problem. And we are going to see Game now just stacking up once again. They've just all gone home to finish their shopping spree. Actually, we have almost 400 AP on Kassadin right now, as he's about to pick up this blue buff. Got himself Rod of Ages, Rabadon's Death Cap, plus those Sorcerer's Shoes as well. Actually, the pot's being bought here as well by Siva, if she wasn't fed enough already, with that Infinity Edge, plus a Phantom Dancer as well. They need to be careful that they don't overextend themselves a little bit too much. And Unso just says hi. If you can't tell us, then you can't tell us. I just think it'd be a cool thing to know. And Game are actually going to get themselves back waiting here inside of that Baron Pit. Froggy has the Oracles on again, or still. Has he even died? Yes, he's died once. But I'm not sure at which point he actually picked that one up. Apparently work and school crossed together, which is why Unso couldn't play in that one. But certainly a shame for Alternate, because it's looking like this is going to be their first loss of the season. Game just constantly waiting. They've got a few wards down as well, just to make sure that there's no counter push onto this Baron area from the Alternate side, who at the moment are just sitting back, defending and getting as much farm as they possibly can. That's really all they can do, judging by how far they are behind in the levels as well. I mean, Sona, for example, 2 levels above Janna already, a level above the jungler on the Alternate team as well, and they're just ahead of them in all aspects of this game at this point.
Yeah, and Alternate are doing that classic thing of 5 people trying to take one lane, which doesn't really help out. You could just do it with one of your carries just sitting there and trying to farm as much as possible. But Game to just sitting this one out. They're going to wait for that Baron to spawn. They're going to take it away pretty freely, I think. I'm not too sure whether there's a great deal that Alternate can do about it at this stage, and you can see that's all they're waiting for right now. They've cleared out the wards, they've got the top wave pushed. It is going to be spawning shortly. You can see them in position ready and waiting for it, and not a great deal that Alternate are going to be able to do about it. So they're going to take this one away freely, I believe. They're going to have the timer on it, because remember, Twisted Fate did use that ulti to see it next time, but there's the Clairvoyance, but it's already gone. So very quick, and well, that was a wasted ulti, but not that it really mattered, because they're just going to have to sit and defend. It's more anything just clearing out for Ashe and saying, look, there they are, get your ass back in base. And that's what he's done. But just look at the item difference as well. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer on the AD carry of Siva. I've only got the Infinity Edge now complete on Ashe. No Phantom Dancer, so no attack speed there. Also, you've got the Randian's Omen and the Shirelia's Reverie on the jungler. In comparison, Randian's Omen is only just being completed. for Maokai. So definitely behind in all aspects, which is going to hurt them in a team fight. The question is whether they can do anything about it. But I just got a feeling, I mean, they've got no big area of effect that can basically stop them coming in. Once Ramos gets in there, and the crescendo comes in, here we go, he's going straight across there. They have managed to blow them back, but it's not going to be enough. You can see immediately like it, he's going to get pinned out there straight away. Oh, Wukong's trying his best to harass them, trying to keep them out of it. And well, actually Caston did get pretty low in there. Jin's just about backing off. Ash is trying his best to finish them off. Sivir does take down Wukong. Ash manages to get a volley shot across. Caston does finally go down. That's not a bad move from there. They do manage to get one kill out of it. Unfortunately, it is still a 4v2. I'm not too sure whether they're going to have enough to defend this turret. No, they're not, because the Ash Arrow was already used up, so he's just going to have to delicately walk in there and volley them and just try and harass as much as possible. But you can see Glucosa just topping them off with those heals every second, every step of the way, and they've got that one covered. In fact, so much so they have a big wave coming in towards the top lane, so they may lose both inhibitors, which is not what they want. They feel they can fight for this one, but they've got the wave with them. And it's just a case of whether Ash can get caught out. Now Janna comes back. They are going to fend them off. They have lost that turret, but they will back away from this one, and wisely so, I feel.
Yeah, wisely as well. I mean, that little push, definitely not the best it could have gone for games, but that will allow Alternate to have a little bit more time. Apparently, Alternate still are in a good mood in TeamSpeak, according to Unzo, who said if they'd have been able to play 10-15 minutes later, he would have been able to play. It's a little bit of, bad stuff for Alternate, but it's still looking very safe for game. I mean, 8 turrets to 1, 14-5, 2 Barons, and there we go, Twisted Fate being a hero, getting the second turret for Alternate, and then quickly running into the bush and getting himself away. And laughing as well in the chat. Yeah, that's something that they need to do if they want to stand any chance in this one. Those little bits of gold here, there, and everywhere will be helping them out. Actually, Gruulem, could he get caught? The thing is, when you're casting, you don't really get caught unless you are in a totally horrible position.
No, it was more a case of whether Jim was going to get caught. I think, he would have level 12 versus what is it, level 18? Is he? No, yeah, he is level 18. So that would have been a very one-sided fight. And actually, Gruulem happened to have just used the Riftwalk to get away, to go try and get the raid. So if it had been just stayed 1 second longer, I think he'd have done it in the opposite direction and taken Jin straight out of it. So you can see they're trying their best to pick up any kills they can. Cliffy's trying to farm down the bottom there, but they realise they have to be defending this top inhibitor. It's open, it's naked, there is no tower, and they can just walk straight in. They still have that Baron buff off, of course. Not much longer left on it, but they do have it for long enough that it's going to cause a problem. And they will take away a second inhibitor. And Gruulem does get caught out, actually cleansing off there. Jin's surely going to get caught out. The Janna ulti is going to only knock them back so far. The Monsoon will not last. Crescendo goes across. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 going down. Possibly now Cliffy's going to get caught out. Cliffy will fall, and that will just be Forellenlord trying his best to do as much damage and fish, but the 2 AP carries and the AP and the AD carry are still alive, so they can fend them off for a while. But this Nexus turret desperately low, and you can see them trying their best to pull away those minions from the turret, but that is just going to open things up for game. They're going to go down, take down that final inhibitor turret. And now it's going to be Cliffy getting caught out. They have an Oracle so they can see exactly where he's going. He will not get away from that one. Fish has just gone back and healed himself. But you can see the damage already coming out from Sivir. Sivir actually taking about 3 tower hits there. Less than ideal. Flash through on towards Fish there. Immediately gets caught out. And Game have to be careful here. They can get countered. They've got people rezzing back up there. Shimmy will get taken down. You can see Forellenlord will port through. And immediately, oh no. That's a classic Twisted Fate error there. Getting a bit too aggressive and going straight in towards the face, and Froggy just turns around and says, no, you do not do that. And well, it's a quick one-sided death there. So that backfired, and well, they've managed to defend the Nexus turrets, Joe, but I don't think they're going to heal that much.
Yeah, I think pretty much not all, and you can see that the damage is ridiculous at the moment from Entensberg, the Sivir, critting for like 1,100 there, which, you know, Ash, Twisted Fate, Janna, they're not lasting long at all when those shots come in. Actually, she has a ton of gold. Yeah, actually 2,000 gold has Sivir right now, so we are going to see what comes next. And there's a Bloodthirster to add to the Phantom Dancer and the Infinity Edge as well. That is not good news whatsoever for the side of Alternate. they can just defend and try and hold on to this, but you have to say eventually they're going to break through and have them.
Yeah, they are. I'm just trying to see what attack speed he's up to. I reckon once that ulti goes on Anivia, I think he's probably spiking out now at 2.5. I'm not just wondering how close he is to it. He's at 1.9 at the moment. I guess as soon as they're all on him, he's probably going to be very close to spiking. And well, Froggy's played fantastic, I think, in this one. He's played the consummate jungler, 1-1-12. Been getting those supports. Had that Oracle for a long time. Lord getting caught out there. I think he's going to get flashed and taunted. The Monsoon will try and blow them back, but it's not going to be enough. The Jhin is also going to get popped. Very, very quick deaths there from the lot of them. And Gorillum's just about going to go down, but it doesn't matter. They're going to take down that Nexus turret. And Fish is doing his best to try and fend them off. You can see he's actually doing enough damage on Sivir to cause a problem. Pops that heal and immediately gets harassed by Shimmy. And the Nexus will fall. And that will be game, taking the first game. And the only game, in fact, tonight, which is going to be an important one because that's sort of gaining revenge. They've beaten the champions of Winter's 2011 already in the start of this Spring 2012 tournament. That is a very good start for Gamed. And a new lineup of Gamed as well, so that's going to give them massive confidence.
Yeah, going to give the rest of the teams in the tournament something to think about as well. And beating that champion team from the last year is always the start that you want. I mean, on paper, when the fixtures get released, you're like, oh, God, first game against Alternate. That's going to be a pain in the rear end. But actually, they've come out brilliantly. I think right from the start, their picks were stronger. We already pointed that one out earlier in the game. Let's have a look at the post-match screen and give some credit to where it's due. For game, then, we have Glucosa on Sona. 0-1-17, great play. Vroggy on Rammus, who I think made that massive difference early on in the game, was another level compared to the jungler of Alternate. 1-1-14, Shyvana winning out that top lane massively, 2-3-6. Cassidy 9-3-3 in the middle. His 3 deaths actually came right in the end of it as well, so he was super strong throughout that one. But Sivir, probably man of the match in this. 9-0-10, almost 300 CS, had a big early advantage over Ashe. Just quickly run down the alternate team. Lycades on Janna 0-5-5, Fish on Ashe 3-4-3, Pharrell Lord on Twisted Fate 4-6-4, Jhin on Maokai 0-2-5, and Cliff on Wukong 1-4-4. That's just an amazing performance from game. Alternate will be a little bit annoyed that they probably didn't have Unto in there and didn't have the chance to really show what they're made of in that one, but there's still plenty of play days to go.
Yeah, indeed, and you just have to wonder, with the picks at the start. We said it right at the start. The Twisted Fate pick very early on. They thought, well, we can counter that. Kassadin was left open, which is something you just don't do a lot these days. Generally, always banned out there. Also, remember Vlad was available at the top. Could have been picked up there. Not too sure how it would have gone against Shyvana, but obviously Wukong was picked out first, so they countered that with Shyvana. Shyvana's one of those picks that pretty much has been banned out for a lot lately. You either take it or you ban it. It's one or the other, and it seems to have. It's quite amazing it's been left so long. Obviously, you've got the teams like Moscow 5 that have highlighted just how strong Shyvana is, and suddenly a lot of the teams really using it throughout in the jungle. But just didn't feel it, and Rammus again available, proving why Rammus was banned throughout the Go for LOL monthly finals as well. It's just showing a lot of things. So an open game, I think, to start with in terms of bans. They did target towards quite a few things. So Pharrell Lord as well was pretty heavily targeted. In fact, both the AP mids were targeted pretty heavily. But it just didn't work out, and it didn't work from an early level either. So it just kind of It slowly snowballed. I wouldn't say it's a snowball. It wasn't exactly an avalanche. It was just a trickle, a little stream.
It was just having a bit of a snow,
a flurry.
So next week, actually, we won't be bringing you action from the EPS Germany because starting on Thursday here in Germany, or in Cologne, even more importantly, is Carnival, which is, if you don't know, 5 days long of getting ridiculously drunk and dressing up. Which, that's great. We even get days off work for it. That's how awesome Carnival is. It helps, obviously, if you're a boss, is a Carnival fan as well, which they tend to be in Cologne. So, no, we're off for a good few days. So, next Monday, we won't have EPS. However, I think on Wednesday, we will have EMS. This Wednesday, i.e. in 2 days, we'll also have an EMS playoff game. Not sure yet on which game that will be, but keep your eyes open at ESL.tv. It's always there first on the schedule. Make sure you follow me and Deman on Twitter at Joe_Miller and at QV Deman. Make sure you check out Deman's YouTube channel as well. well, youtube.com/4Deman with the number 4. And yeah, make sure you keep your eyes posted on Reddit. A big shout out to Reddit because they're always giving us love these days, so it's got to be returned.
It has indeed. So it's been great to cast with you again, Joe. So we'll see you on Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday, guys. Don't forget to tune in. Not sure exactly on the start time, but as I said, keep your eyes peeled, and we'll get all the information to you as soon as we can. Have a great weekend. If you're in... have a great weekend? It's Monday, man.
You're in the party mood already.
That's a Cologne feeling. Have a great weekend on Monday. Monday is just the start of the weekend, if that's how you like to live. But yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday night, guys. I'm just going to stop talking now because I'm just saying ridiculous stuff. Good night.